This is my 1981 Datsun 280ZX non-turbo manual transmission, and I am experiencing a cold start issue that is so bad that it will not even start unless I manually add resistance to the cylinder head temperature sensor circuit. More on that in a few minutes. So I've compiled a list here of everything that I've replaced and everything that I've checked, and all with results that are passing as per the factory service manual. So let me show you what I've done here. So because this is a temperature related issue, my main goal was to look at everything temperature related, especially all the sensors. So the number one thing you might be asking is the cylinder head temperature sensor itself. It is a new unit. It's tested to spec. Cold start valve for me is irrelevant because I live in sunny Southern California and these only operate below freezing, so that never turns on basically. The air regulator valve electronically is good and mechanically is also good. The little door on the inside remains slightly open, about an eighth of an inch, quarter-inch gap maybe. And then when it's closed, when it's hot, it's closed. The airflow meter is a new unit that was replaced about a few months ago, I'd say. And ground wire is hooked up. It's proper. The electrical connector that goes to it is cleaned, and I've tested the continuity and every single wire going to the main brain. That's all good there. I've manually adjusted, I know you're not supposed to, but I've manually adjusted the airflow meter and the idle mixture screw and also the idle speed screw for when it's hot. When this car is warm, when it's up to temperature, this thing could not run better. It is absolutely perfect, top notch. So I have no complaints there. It's only when it's cold. I want you to keep that in mind. So all these are good. Yeah, idle speed screw. Ignition timing is set to 8 degrees before top dead center at 700 RPM. Again, as per the manual. Throttle position sensor. It's less of a sensor and more just a set of contacts, all of which do make contact at the right times. EGR valve. I have mine disabled just for grins, but when it is enabled, it does work. It stays closed when it's supposed to. The boost control decelerator device operates as it's supposed to. Actually had to adjust it a tiny bit. What most people don't realize is that is supposed to add air to the mixture when it's decelerating. So you're supposed to see a slow fall in RPM. So that's what I have. Fuel injectors, those are all new. Those have been replaced a few years ago. They're still new. I have inspected them. Valve adjustment, I adjusted those about a year ago. I'll have to do that again somewhat soon, but it's fine. All the ground wires in the car, those are all making the connections that they're supposed to. Vacuum lines, there are no vacuum lines that are crossed, there are no vacuum lines that are leaking, and none that are missing. Intake manifold gasket is sealed, it's proper. Again, no issues there. Fuel filter, that's been replaced a couple years ago. Again, no issue there. I have proper fuel pressure. I put a gauge on there. I'm getting the right pressures. Fuel type is the only thing that I've kind of experimented with, and I have not seen any difference at all. I've ranged from 85 all the way to 91 octane. No difference. It changes nothing. So let me give you a little bit of a demonstration here on what it looks and sounds like, so you can judge for yourself, I guess. So yeah, like I said, everything here I've tested, and everything that I've tested has passed with flying colors. It checks out according to the book, and I've damn near read this thing cover to cover. So all that's good. Everything that's been replaced it's only new. I don't go with remanufactured. So let me give you a demonstration. And before I start, I want to give you bit of a heads up on a couple things. So the old temperature gauge, you can ignore that. I have that disconnected at the moment. I'm messing with that. The voltmeter gauge just recently broke, which is unfortunate. So you're gonna see that thing go stupid high, but you can ignore that. It's safe, trust me. I'm actually getting like 14 volts. The air fuel ratio gauge, that's of course that's aftermarket. That is operational. It's working as it should. So what I mentioned earlier at the start of the video about me manually adding resistance to the cylinder head temperature sensor circuit, that was my band-aid fix. So I have a potentiometer here, again wired into that circuit, and so when it's all the way clockwise, as it's shown here, that is when there is no resistance in the circuit. So that is set up as it would be in your car, for example. When it's all the way to the left is when it's at maximum resistance. I have a 5,000 ohm potentiometer, so it's actually not enough. I'll probably have to get like a 10,000 ohm or something, because even then it doesn't add enough resistance. So the more resistance you have, the colder the ECU thinks that the engine is running. So my band-aid fix is to just trick the car into thinking that it's really cold, and I just let it idle until it's warm up. So let me give you a demonstration of it when it's stock. So let me turn on my air fuel ratio gauge, and I'll show you what it looks like. You can hear fuel pump running. It's actually a new, I forgot to mention, that's also a new fuel pump as well back there. Yeah, it doesn't like it. It backfires like crazy. So let me give it all the fuel it wants. And as you can see, it starts up better. It's still not perfect. I'm still running a little too lean. About 15.0. Actually, that's not too bad. That's actually kind of where I want it. I recorded a earlier version of this, and it was again kind of off the scale. It still didn't want it. When this thing is ice cold, even with 5,000 ohms of resistance in the circuit, it still idles fucking way too low. So anyways, that's what I got. So if you have any suggestions on what I should take a look at, please let me know. I really have no idea. I have looked at everything. I have tested everything. I have replaced what I think is the problem, all to basically no avail. Let me tell you though, when this thing is warmed up, when it's up to temperature, in the middle of the gauge there, it runs great. It plenty of power. The timing is all right. It's great. I have no complaints when it's hot. It's only when it's cold it hates life. So yeah, anyways, like I said, if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions about what I did, please let me know. I'm dying to know any other opinions out there. So I'm basically at a loss. This has just been what I've been having to deal with for the last years. Just suffer through it and let it idle at some random air fuel ratio when it's cold, and then wait for a few minutes for it to warm up and then start driving. So it would be nice to not use that if I have to, just so that I can give the keys to somebody and they don't have to ask me how to drive it. So anyways, that's it. Thanks.